What's going on, everyone? So in today's video I'm going to be showing you the top 20 photos that I took during my time working as a safari guide in South Africa. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. So I'm starting off with some photos that are going to be considered honorable mentions. So these are photos that didn't quite crack that top 20 spot, but hold a very special place in my heart from my journey as a photographer. So we're starting with this leopard photo. This is from the Sabi Sands, and it is a mother and cub leopard. This cub leopard, her daughter is about 6 months old at the stage. This was very early on in my career in the guiding industry. I remember being on drive. I was a trainee guide with someone I looked up to as a guide and a photographer, someone by the name of Darby Jacobs, and we came across these leopards had 2 kills in the tree, and just being able to see this tender moment between mom and daughter was just incredible to witness. This was, like I said, still very early on for me as a photographer. I was still shooting basically full automatic, and I was shooting JPEG, wasn't even shooting RAW at this stage. So this is pretty much out of camera. There wasn't much editing that could be done. I really wish I had this sighting again with my current skills as a photographer. But yeah, I still love it. I still remember it every day. I have this exact photo printed nice and big in our dining room downstairs, and it's just so special to me. Let's go on to the next one. So pangolins are special. For anyone who does know, being able to just witness a pangolin once in the wild in your lifetime is incredibly special. So every time you get to see them, it's incredibly special, and something you just have to, really take advantage of. And being able to get photos of them is not easy. They're quite shy animals. So on top of that, trying to get photos that you think are good, or good photos of them, is not so easy at all. So really happy with this photo. It was side lit by a fellow guide of mine, or in my team, a colleague of mine, and it was just awesome. Considered my best pangolin photo, and just I can't believe I got to see some in the wild. So moving on, this is going back to the Sabi Sands, Leopard Central. If you want to see leopards, go there. And this is a female leopard who had 2 cubs, and this is just so special to me. It's my first time seeing actual small cubs in the wild, leopard cubs. They were estimated about 5 weeks old. It was just incredible to witness. They were hiding in a drain pipe, which was the den, for quite some time. With the mom around, they became a bit more relaxed, and slowly but surely they came out, and I was able to get this shot. Not my best photo, but like I said, these are honorable mentions, just something that's so special, and a sighting I still remember clearly to this day. So this is, for those of you who don't like snakes, I'm sorry. This is the famous black mamba. This sighting was unforgettable. We had just left camp in the afternoon, and kind of around the first corner we heard this just commotion in the trees. And what it turned out is this black mamba was actually hunting squirrels. So there were a family of tree squirrels up in this tree. There was a mom, a dad, and a baby, and this black mamba was after that baby. And it was just incredible to see how these parent squirrels were going through and basically saving this baby the whole time. One would pick up the baby and run with it in its mouth to a new location, while the other one was mobbing the snake and distracting it. And it went on for about 20 minutes. Managed to get this photo in the light. I absolutely love it. It's a sighting. It was just amazing. There was no casualties. The squirrels got away. The snake lost interest and moved off. Just amazing. So this, for sensitive viewers, sorry, I will put a warning up. So this photo goes back to kind of 3 weeks into my time starting at Kapama. And this was my first real kill I had seen in the wild. We saw this start to finish. 2 male lions resting in an open area. One started stalking this big herd of buffalo, and about 20 minutes later this male jumped on this cow, this female, and brought her down, and we managed to get this angle, get this shot, at which the male's brother then came and joined him. Just unreal. To see a kill at all is special, but to see it start to finish, just mind-blowing. This is another photo from quite early on in my time. And I will admit I got a bit lucky. I was basically walking home from work one day from the lodge to my room, and it was just all these African monarch butterflies going crazy around this clump of grass. So I ran and got my camera, and I was just experimenting with a few settings. And I popped the flash up, just a pop-up flash on my old camera, and just firing away different shots, different settings. I just got these incredible results. Obviously the flash was enough to light up the butterflies, and I could crank the other settings to just darken the background completely black, and it was just such an awesome time. Awesome photo in my mind, and something quite different to add to my portfolio. Then last we got this, not one photo but a series. So this is something as a guide and guest we worked hard on. The night before, this female leopard had been seen with a kill in a tree, actually 2 kills at the time, and we really wanted to see it. So we headed out early the next morning, about an hour before we normally head out and drive, and we went straight to this area, and we were working the area. We had found the 2 kills up in the trees, and for about 40 minutes we could not find this female. We were about to give up when she popped out the bush. We followed her as she walked towards us, giving us some great eye contact, and we parked at this marula tree, and I parked hoping, it's quite difficult to judge exactly which way a leopard will go up a tree, especially if it is quite vertical like this one, and we got so lucky. I mean, for a leopard to come perfectly perpendicular to you, she ran up that marula tree and straight onto Impala kill, and it was just a mind-blowing experience. So if you guys are enjoying this video so far, please do give it a like, as well as subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends that might be interested, as well as the fact if you are enjoying all these photos that you are seeing, I would love to show you more of mine. So you can head over to my Instagram page, Facebook page, as well as my own website. I will tag everything down below. Go check them out, and I hope you enjoy it. So we're done with the honorable mentions, and now we're here for what you came for. So this is what I consider my top 20 photos. I wasn't able to narrow them down into an order, so there is no order for this one. I would love to hear you guys what you think, and you let me know which one you definitely think is your number one. So we're going to start with this shot of an elephant. Now this is also on Kopama. This was a very nice open area, somewhere we didn't really see elephants much moving through this open area. Elephants tend to stick to the trees where their preferred food is, things like that. And they were coming across this open plain, and it was at sunset, and I just thought this is an incredible opportunity. We looped around, we sat on the road, and we just waited as they walked towards us. The sky played a perfect role, enough cloud just to give it a bit more depth and a bit more, better sky. The sun was setting, I was just playing with settings, experimenting. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to get those sun flares that you see, they're coming out that sun, so using a really small aperture. I think this was f/18, somewhere around there, and having to combat that by still getting the exposure of the elephant right, it was tough. So it's a really special photo for me because I worked really hard at it, and I got a photo I'm super impressed and happy with. So next one is another female leopard. This is an incredible exciting that we got early one morning, heading down to an area to actually look for the specific female. And she popped up in a marula tree next to the road, and we stopped and we just got our cameras out and we started shooting. I got a bit lucky with the settings, trying to actually get in this darker image that I could make into the silhouette, and it was just incredible. Very short sighted. She came down, she spent a bit of time getting down the tree, which you'll see one of the other shots coming up, and then she disappeared and went into the grass, and it was just awesome. So like I said, this is from that same sighting. So just amazing how the camera picked up the exposure coming down, and now she was looking at us, taking her slow time to get down the tree. She gave us that incredible eye contact at almost eye level, and it was just incredible. I love this photo so much. I love how the tree and the green on the left is all split down the middle, and she's just giving us that perfect eye contact. This is another leopard, as you can see, and this is actually a young leopard. So we had a female with 2 cubs at Kopama, and we were sitting, they had a kill, and it was just this very, very thick bush, and we pulled into the sighting, and there was really not much you could see, and I managed to catch a glimpse of one of the cubs through the trees. So I had to use manual focus to try and get through all this bush, and I managed just to get her looking at me, and this photo is, I absolutely love this photo. And that perfect contact, and it just kind of shows a bit more of the habitat and also the behavior of leopards being such shy, or generally such shy animals. This is another one I remember clear as day. So this is a big male lion we had, only has one eye. As you can see, his right eye is missing, and this was at night, so we were using the spotlight, which makes for some interesting shots. And he was kind of walking through the bush, and as the spotlight was hitting him, it was going also through branches and leaves of the trees, creating these shadows. And luckily I managed to get a shot where his eyes and his face were through that clear spot. And I just think it's a bit different, and I just love the darkness. This is one that, it's one of those photos that not everyone likes. Some people absolutely love them, some people just don't, and that's okay. But for me, this is a photo I've been trying to get for a long time, kind of just really showing the textures of an elephant. What I love about this one so much is you've got the top court, or the top diagonal side of the photo is actually the elephant's ear. Elephant ears are well known for having very jagged edges, especially the older they are. They get snagged on branches and thorns, they get cut, and it shows off a real character of that elephant. There's a bit of a light that hits it, which I really love, and then you got that bottom section, which is the contrast of that really heavy textured skin of an elephant. And I love just how the ear's off the skin, and the focus is on the ear and the skin's out of focus, but you can still see that texture of the skin. Absolutely love this photo. It was in my mind, black and white, from the moment I took it, and yeah, I love it. Got on to this one. This one's a bit different. Once again, not a photo for everyone. It's really dark, really moody, but that's what I was going for with this, the photo as well as the edit. This is a young lion feeding on a giraffe, and it is a very intense affair if you've ever seen a kill or predators feeding like this. And I wanted to try and show that intensity. This was at night, so there was less light around. That's why the background is all blacked out, and we had the spotlight again. Got a bit of eye contact, and I think it just shows kind of the intensity and that of a night feeding session. And the leopard, and this is actually the same leopard we saw up in the tree earlier, one of my favorite females I've ever seen in the wild, and she was just giving us an absolute show. We saw her resting at the base of the termite mound, and she was yawning for us, she was rolling over, she was stretching, and I just love how as she rolled over she made eye contact with us, and it was just brilliant. It was one of those shots where you're not really going to get it again. Managed to get the focus right on those eyes, and I just love it. So going over to, once again, a bit of a different photo. So high key images are something a lot of photographers love, especially in the wildlife scene. A lot of photographers also don't like it, or people don't like it, and it's just a nice, it's a different aspect to your photography, something different. And we saw a couple of these old male buffaloes drinking at a water hole, and I knew just from the lighting conditions that I wanted to put it high key. So the buffalo itself was quite dark, the sun was quite high in the sky, and I was able just to expose it in such a way that I could then edit this way. So I knew what I wanted. I could bring out the shadows of that dark buffalo, and I'm quite happy to almost blow out the background, just to bring out that detail of the texture of that old buffalo, the mud, the wrinkles on the skin, the scars. I just absolutely love it. I just love photographing chameleons. It's one of my favorite things to do as a guide. And this one was, what I liked about this one is just the angle it was at for us, and using the spotlights and everything like that, we were able to get this complete side-lit profile of this incredible chameleon's face. Also being able to get quite close, getting a lot of detail in that skin. Just being able to, obviously the lighting came from the right hand side there, and just being able to kind of show that eye and this texture of the reptilian skin, and just have the whole left side blacked out. It was just great. Back to another leopard. This was one of my last leopard sightings actually as a guide, and we a couple of leopards were found, a male and a female, and we kind of moved into the sighting. We only had sight of the male. He was up in the tree. It was great, but he was sleeping and the lighting wasn't so great. And then we heard a bit of growling, and we knew that female was around because someone else had seen it. So we waited a bit, and eventually she actually went up the tree to the male, and she was what we thought she was actually trying to mate. Not so convenient in a tree. The male was growling at her. He was obviously sleeping, and he actually didn't want to participate. She then came down the tree to this big fork, which is just a couple meters above the ground, at eye level to us, and it looked like flirting. It was incredible. She was up in the tree, lying in this position, rolling, scratching herself all over the show. Just gave us the best show ever. And this photo from my whole series of that sighting, I think, was my favorite. She just caught eye contact with us. I just love the detail in the bark as well, and just love the colors overall. So this is actually from Kruger National Park on one of our recent trips in October. If you have seen the video, I'll tag it up here. And yeah, this was actually a test shot. I was hoping to do a time lapse of the sky over the next few hours, and I was kind of getting my settings right. And this is, to this day, my favorite Milky Way photo I've ever taken. I just love that there's a bit of reflection from the river in front of us. We were camping, out in the open, no fences, nothing, and just got that Milky Way perfect. You still have that bit of light of the setting sun, and yeah, just love this shot. This is one of those chances as a photographer you just don't want to mess up if you are wanting a shot like this. This male had taken this warthog with two females, and he was kind of in a bush protecting it from the females. He was saying it's his turn to feed now, and there was like almost no visual of him, no way to see his face. We were all just sitting there waiting, listening to the sounds. All of a sudden he just ripped it out the bush and picked it up and just came walking towards us. And this is that same male with the one eye from earlier, and just, yeah, it just shows raw nature as it is. This has got to be, for me, a top 5 contender. I just love this photo so much. It was actually during a sundowner stop on one of my safaris with guests. The sun was setting over the Drakensberg Mountains. There was amazing clouds. The sunset was just phenomenal on its own. But on the horizon there was a group of zebra. So I was lying on the floor and just trying to get that zebra. I moved quite far just to get that zebra in between of that like really nice orange sunspot. Dial down the setting just to kind of get it as a silhouette, and the sky just popped. You can see the sun drop just under those clouds. Just absolutely love this one. So same line again, it's the one eye over here, and this is actually Megan, my fiance's favorite photo. This goes back quite early days in my career at Kapama, and absolutely love this. Big beautiful mane, fully in the whole frame, direct eye contact. I know for a bit of critiques out there, the focus isn't 100%, but I just love it. Perfect lighting, perfect sun. And something I noticed, trying to replicate this photo better going through my career is to get this sort of intense stare with good lighting is actually so difficult, because especially if there is good lighting behind you, for example, the lions tend to squint their eyes a bit just to prevent that light coming in. So I wasn't able to improve on this, but absolutely love this one. Another lion one, this one is just so special to me. It was a group of lions, a big pride, just playing in a sandy road. You can see really, really sandy there after a bit of rain. And this was actually, so the big one at the top is actually a sub-adult male. You can see he's got a bit of mane to him. And he was just playing with one of the cubs. The cubs were stretching up, and they were basically just playing like cats do. And just to get that interaction, the cub's got its mouth open, and just to show that kind of social bond that lions do have, being the only big social cats, and just such a special moment to witness. This photo, for anyone who has followed me for a bit of time, will know how special this photo is to me. If you look at the logo, you'll notice that at the end of the video, this is where that logo came from. This is a photo I took early on in my days at Kapama. I was still learning roads. I was driving around on my own. Came across this mom and calf rhino. At this time of this photo, that calf was about 2 months old, and I spent about half an hour with them, following them around, and just to get this kind of symmetry, showing the baby to the mom and just how big that mom is, was just incredible. I managed to follow that baby in its life for the next 4 years. Still doing well to this day, absolutely incredible. And yeah, just a really, really special photo for me. So I wanted to include some birds in this. I absolutely love photographing birds, and this one has stuck out to me as one of my favorite bird photos I've taken. So this is a spectacled weaver, and it is basically a male who's busy building his nest. So what the males do in the breeding season is they build the nest, the females then expect it, and breeding can happen from there. Absolutely love just the framing of the photo, how the reeds and everything kind of complete the frame, as well as just that heavy depth of field. Completely blurry, smooth background, and just the detail in the nest and the intricacy of the nest and the weaver. Absolutely love it. This is another one from Kruger National Park, when myself and Meg were there, and we were up quite far north, close to Letaba at the time. I think actually further north towards Mopani, and there was this big dusty area. There was a bit of reservoirs and water in the area. And this was late afternoon. We were kind of on our way back to camp, and there was just elephants and buffaloes everywhere. It was absolutely crazy. Elephants coming left to right, buffaloes coming right to left. There was just dust everywhere, and just that golden sunlight from behind smashed into that dust, and it just lit up. It was incredible. I don't hope my photo did it justice. Obviously, trying to explain what it was like at the time is impossible. But this just proves, or this goes to prove that for people who always say shoot with the light behind you, it's not always true. You won't get photos like this in that sense. So absolutely amazing sighting. Another one of the big one-eyed lion who seems to be appearing quite a few times now. This is also special to me for the way that I worked for the photo, and I saw it coming. So we had this male lion walking down the road towards us, and we had the sun behind us, so early morning sun, and there was a kind of a hill down to the river behind us. So I reversed a bit quicker to kind of go down the hill, so we actually lost sight of the lion. I explained to my guests as we go, and a couple of them were like, no, but now we can't see him. I said, just wait, I promise you this is going to be amazing. And we were now at eye level. The lion popped over the hill, that morning light hit him in the face. Was able to underexpose actually to get that really dark, moody background and surrounds, but that sun has just perfectly lit the face. And yeah, this photo actually got me to win one of the large photographic competitions as well, which is another reason why it's in the top 20. So guys, I really did hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you enjoyed all the photos. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree with any of those, or potentially some of the honorable mentions you think should have slid in there, or if you have seen any of my photos on any of my other platforms. Let me know if you think they deserve this top 20 spot. See you in the next one. Cheers.